U.S. intelligence officials examining Havana Syndrome say the only plausible explanation for a small number of cases is a device or a weapon of some kind. A U.S. intelligence report by a panel of expert scientists pointed to pulsed electromagnetic energy and ultrasound as possible causes for the mysterious Havana Syndrome, an unexplained illness that has long been believed to be caused inadvertently by surveillance equipment or by a mysterious sonic weapon. Pulsed electromagnetic energy, particularly in the radio frequency range, plausibly explains the core characteristics, the new report on the mysterious illness released on Wednesday said. The report said that devices do exist that could produce the observed symptoms and are effective over hundreds of meters or through walls. Sources exist that could generate the required stimulus, are concealable, and have moderate power requirements, the report said. Using non-standard antennas and techniques, the signals could be propagated with low loss through air for tens to hundreds of meters. The report comes after a CIA task force said that the illness is not the product of a sustained global campaign by a hostile power aimed at hundreds of U.S. diplomats and spies last month. The scientists said that Havana Syndrome symptoms are diverse and may be caused by multiple mechanisms, but that a subset of them cannot be easily explained by known environmental or medical conditions. The scientist added that while the symptoms are common, the combination of the four core characteristics is distinctly unusual and unreported elsewhere in the medical literature, and so far have not been associated with a specific neurological abnormality, and make it unlikely to be just a typical neurological disorder. The officials who briefed reporters Wednesday said there were significant gaps in what the government knows. Among the recommendations the panel has made is standardizing the information collected across U.S. agencies and creating new markers for identifying and caring for what the government calls anomalous health incidents. The U.S. is also looking for ways to protect officers and prevent future cases. While officials who briefed reporters would not specify what protection measures they have recommended, they urged any employee who believes they have been affected to come forward immediately. While we don't have the specific mechanism for each case, what we do know is if you report quickly and promptly get medical care, most people are getting well, one official said. In a statement, Director of National Intelligence Avril Haines and CIA Director William Burns said the U.S. government remains committed to providing access to care for those who need it, and we will continue to share as much information as possible with our workforce and the American public as our efforts continue. And many still continue to experience these or other health problems, according to a 2020 National Academies of Sciences, Engineering, and Medicine report. The report assessed the symptoms to be consistent with the effects of directed, pulsed radio frequency, RF, energy. Some have reported hearing a loud noise before the sudden onset of symptoms. Advertisement. But it's unclear if victims sustain any neurological damage or any long-term damage, and it's unclear what might have caused that damage. Some doubt its existence, however, and call it mass hysteria. The leading theory behind the cause of the suddenly surfaced syndrome starts with a device that scientists say Russia could have invented during the Cold War, which was later used to spy on U.S. embassies by collecting data from laptops and cell phones. However, experts now theorize that a hostile country, like Russia or China, may have turned this microwave technology into a weapon. Both countries deny any involvement in any of the incidents relating to the mysterious syndrome. Last month, a CIA task force said that the illness is not the product of a sustained global campaign by a hostile power aimed at hundreds of U.S. diplomats and spies. The task force made the assessment that not all of the cases were caused by a hostile power, but said 12 cases originating in the embassy in 2016 remain unexplained. Many were caused by anomalous health contributors, it said. The task force also didn't rule out that at least some of the cases may have been an attack. This finding does not call into question the fact that our officers are reporting real experiences and are suffering real symptoms, nor does it explain every report, a senior CIA official told CNN. There have been roughly 200 reported cases of the yet unexplained illness, colloquially named for its first reported case in 2016 at the U.S. Embassy in Havana, Cuba. Almost half of the cases involved CIA officers or their relatives, nearly 60 have been linked to Department of Defense workers or relatives, and about 50 involved State Department personnel, the outlet reported. Back in September, Vice President Kamala Harris' departure from Singapore during her Asia trip was delayed by more than 3 hours because of an anomalous health incident in Hanoi, which was the next stop in her Asia trip. That was a reference to Havana Syndrome.